right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm excited. We're gonna get out here, play a little 9-hole round. We're out at Bradford Park today, and shout out to Iceberg Dylan. He let me borrow this Calvin Heimberg Destroyer to throw. It is one of the domiest discs that I have ever thrown. I've thrown it a couple times in a field, and it is insanely flippy. And so you can actually invert it as well. But this is absolutely wild, the flip that this thing will get. And so just put it high with hyzer and it should flip. I'm gonna compare it to the Dynamic Discs Freedom right here, a pretty understable driver. It is a 14.5, -2 with a 3 fade. And then I also have this Supreme Trespass right here. Been in my bag for a while, pretty beat in, and generally gets a good amount of flip on it. So we're gonna give all these a toss and let's get right to it. Hole 1, it is 275 feet, dead straight, a little bit downhill, and ideally just backhand flat or a little bit of forehand. All right, here we go, hole 2. It's a 460-foot par 3, downhill. We're gonna go ahead and give the Destroyer a toss. Super domey, absolutely flippy. And so let's give it a lot of hyzer and see what we can do. All right, well, we had a pretty strong right to left crosswind there. That definitely helped it out being stable, but I gave it so much height and it kind of just kept pushing straight, which was pretty wild. I wanted to show you the difference in dome. This is that Freedom right there. That is so much flatter. I mean, that's crazy. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of dome on this disc. Makes it super flippy. And my buddy Jake loaned me this D3 right here. And that has a little bit more of a dome, definitely, but I mean, just nothing in comparison to this. That is wild. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was surprising. I love that right there. Had that been a little lower, I think it would have been great. Let's try the Freedom here. Definitely a little flippier, a little bit lower. Oh my gosh.
That was nice.
Wow, that kept pushing. I love the flight on that. Okay. I know. Let's try this D3 here. A little bit of a pop top. I was pleasantly surprised with all 3 of those drives, and that Destroyer definitely had a little bit of that stability towards the end of its flight, which I really wasn't expecting, honestly, but got a pretty solid look. Let's do it. Oh man. All right, hole 4, it's a 305-foot par 3, and it's slightly uphill, and the basket's tucked up to the left. I'd say it plays a little longer than 305, I'm gonna be honest. You hit a pretty good shot here, and it always seems to come up a touch short. But let's see if we can put the Destroyer in a lot of hyzer and see if it'll start pushing.
Oh my god.
Woo! That turned out, oh my gosh. Let's try the Freedom, give it a little bit more height. Uh-oh, that's not coming back. All right, ended up with a pretty deep circle too, look. All right, hole 5, it's a 280-foot par 3. It's just down the hill and to the left.
Oh. Cool.
All right, hole 6, it's a 270-foot par 3. It's just dead straight ahead down this tunnel. Probably a pretty good shot for this disc. Once again, just put it on a lot of hyzer. Hopefully she'll flip to flat and keep pushing. All right, hole 7, it's 310 feet. It is just up and around to the right. It's either a forehand hyzer with height or that high backhand turnover. And so pretty good hole for the Destroyer. Let's give it the height and hopefully we'll get that turn out of it, pushing towards the basket. All right, well, I enjoyed the flight on that disc. Had flipped a little bit too much, but ended up scraping together the par. So not bad after all. Here we go, on to hole 8. It is dead straight ahead. I honestly have no idea how far it is, but it's, you know, less than 300. I would say like it's probably about 300, honestly. But let's go ahead, do it. A little bit of hyzer right side, or you can go forehand on the left side. I'll try both.
Oh, get down.
Oh my gosh, what in the...
Bro.
Oh, that's the late flip I'm talking about right there. Good gravy.
Ooh, shot.
That'll work just fine. Hole 8, it's a 360-foot par 3. It is dead straight down this tunnel here. Let's give it a little bit of hyzer. Hopefully she'll flip up, keep pushing, and a touch of finish towards the end. Let's see what we can do with the Destroyer.
The UFO. Oh, dude, stable out. Dude, that's nice. Wait, drop it.
Woo-wee! The UFO Destroyer. I love it. All right, hole 9, it's 315 feet. You can either go a forehand up the left side or a backhand down the right with a lot of hyzers. So here we go, let's give it a toss. Last hole of the round. I've been really surprised with this disc, especially how domey it is. It is absolutely astronomical, has an insane amount of flip, but it still has a touch of finish. So let's give it a toss and see what happens.
Oh, see you later.
Oh, she's gone. She's gone. All right, well, that's gonna wrap up our round for the day. I mean, holy cow, this Destroyer really surprised me today. It got a crazy amount of flip out of it. If you just put it hard on a little bit of hyzer, it'll flip and keep flipping, and then sometimes it might come back a little. And so that was pretty shocking for me. But overall, it's kind of an enjoyable disc. At the end of the day, it's still a Destroyer, but it's gonna flip kind of like a putter if you throw it hard enough. And so it's one of those discs that's just kind of weird, but it's fun. And if you can, get something with a lot of dome and just see how it flies. But the Freedom in comparison was a little bit more flippy, I found, because the Freedom, it would flip and not come back, as opposed to the Destroyer, it would get up, flip, burn, but it might come back at the end, which was surprising. And then of course, that Supreme Trespass was the most stable of the bunch. All right, so thank you to Iceberg Dylan for loaning me this disc. And as always, thanks to my sponsors, Neptune Discs and Spike Hyzer Dies, and I'll catch you next time.